There's a fish. Yep, there we go. Hey, it's Chris, the Midwest Bass Hunter, out on this lake, about to engage in battle in a Pond Warrior online fishing tournament. This is the second one I've fished. First one I did pretty decent. I finished second place and won a little bit of money, and the goal today is to win. So hopefully we can find some fish. I know there's a lot of fish on this lake I'm at. A lot of good, healthy-sized fish. And that's the plan. We're gonna catch a whole bunch of them. It's all you can catch tournament. So everything over 12 inches measured on a bump board, send it up to Tourney X through the interwebs, and there you go. So last time I fished, I got 520 inches, and that was second place. So it's gonna take a lot of fish to win this thing. Probably, I don't know, 50 plus bass for me to win this thing. So wish me luck, guys. 6 o'clock, lines in. Well, oof. Right off the bat, I don't like that. Time to go to the chatterbait. There's a fish. There we go. Didn't take long. He'll measure. There we go. That's the first one of the tournament. And he hooked him good. 13 3/4. There's one. There we go. Fish number 2. We're gonna catch a bunch of these today. That's a good picture. There we go. There's a fish. That's a bass. She's got a lot of grass with it. It's a dink. This is milfoil grass, I believe, and this lake is full of it. There's a fish. That's what we want every other cast. That's what we're gonna get here too. It is a pain in the butt to have to upload all these fish, but that's how you do her. Really hanging up a lot with the chatterbait, so I'm going to switch to a swim jig. I think they'll eat it. I'm not getting good. I'm getting wasted cast from too much hanging up. There's a fish. Yep, there we go. So like this swim jig, it's very similar to a chatterbait, just without the chatter. So the chatter is what's getting me all hung up. That blade in the front. 13.5. So I switched up to the swim jig. Gets to the grass a little better. And they're biting it just as good, so far. There's a fish. I didn't realize he had it till the last second. Barely got him hooked. 14-incher. This is an Advantage Baits swim bait, and it's got a Excite Baits Shad Nasty trailer. I ran out of bluegill colored ones, so this is the color I got. And I'm throwing this on my crankbait rod, which, you know, it's kind of soft. I wouldn't mind having, I might have to switch it up and put it onto my spinnerbait rod. There's a fish. I mean, it's fine for catching the fish. The part where I want it to be a little stiffer is when I'm ripping it through the grass. This is all grass out here, and these fish are amongst this grass, so when your bait gets in there, kind of rip it out of there. There we go. We gotta catch them fast. There's fish. Yes. That's a good one. That might be my first 15-incher. He's a 16. All right, let's let him go. There's a fish. That's another pretty good one there. That's a good one. He's got to be close to 16, I would bet. 15 3/4. Almost 16. Not quite. So I want to show you guys something. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but this is fluorocarbon line. And you can see it's starting to fray right there. Because this line doesn't have stretch, but it still has stretch. So what happens is you catch a bunch of fish and it stretches out and then it starts to fray and it will break. So I'm gonna cut about, I don't know, it looks like about 3 or 4 foot off of this and retie. Just something to keep note of with fluorocarbon. You gotta keep an eye on it because it will start to fray. But I like it because it gives me a little bit more power because it doesn't have stretch. Well, it doesn't have as much stretch as mono. I could probably actually fish braid in here. The water's pretty dirty. And with the reaction bite, they're not gonna see much of the line anyways. There's a fish. I don't feel like I got him hooked that good. Now I got him. There he is. Let's see what he measures. 13 3/4. Chubby little dude. It's a little after 8, so let's see where we're at. All right, after 8 o'clock, we're still in 3rd place. I'm catching up to Patrick here. I got some catching to do to keep up here. There's fish. There he is. There he is. I'm gonna get my phone out. Screwed up my rotation. It's a 14 3/4. I'm gonna swim. Man, the skirt's falling right off of this thing. I don't have another one this color either. Dang it. It's just a bluegill color. I probably got something close enough that they'll eat it. When the sun gets up a little bit, I could use a white one probably. There's one. Yes. Oh, he let it go. Son of a gun. I hate losing fish. Surprisingly, I've missed a few fish on this thing. I did not expect to miss that many on it. There he is. He came back and got it the next time. Maybe. I mean, if it was the same fish, but... Yes! It's a good picture. And away he goes. Oh man, this is wearing me out. I don't know what this is, but it looks yummy. This is a 10-hour day, so you gotta make sure you got some food along. It's gonna be a grind. There's a fish. Come on. There we go. He smoked it. That was a little better. Definitely bigger than 12 3/4. When this hook has a really good barb on it. That's a chunker. That's a chunker right there. 15 1/2. There we go. It's after 11. I forgot to check where I was on the leaderboard, so let's see if I passed first place yet. Boom, first place, and I'm running away. Yes! Oh, something bit my tail off. Let me see if I can get that other skirt. Jeez. Baby, it was tough to get off of there. Looks like a brand new jig. There's a fish. Can I keep in front of this guy? Jeez, it's been a while. Yes. Away he goes. All right, it's 12:07, so let's see where we're at on the leaderboard. Ooh, I'm in front by about 75 inches. Yes. There's one. Yes. Oh man. Yes. That's a good one. Look at that. He choked it. He totally choked that thing. There we go. Quit splashing. 15.5. Let that dude go. Get him on the leaderboard. There's a fish. Yes. He's digging. Oh man, that's a good one. More like that. That's a 2-pounder. 2.5 maybe. 15.5 incher. There he is. He missed it. Come on. There he is. That's another decent one. There we go. There's definitely bigger fish here. In this zone, this little area I'm in. It's a nice one. A good chunker right there. Yeah, that's the biggest one so far, 16.25. It's bleeding out of his nose from where I unhooked him. That's a nice heavy one. This is pretty much the deepest part of the lake right here. It's like 7 or 8 feet deep. And there's just clumps of grass all over in here. I'm not sure what this grass is. I know I have seen some milfoil in here. This stuff right here does not look like milfoil. It's kind of dirty looking, but this little spot here, I've caught some pretty decent ones here recently, so hopefully I can pull some more out of this. There's a fish. I still got him? Yes, I do. 13.5 incher. All right, it's a 104. Let's see what the thing says. 881.5 inches, and I'm in first place, beating Kyle. Patrick's in third. There's one. I bet that's the one that hit earlier that I missed. That's a good one. Yeah. That is a good one right there. Gosh, they're fat in here. God, I can't wait a couple years. This place will be awesome. 15.75. Just chub or go. There's one. There we go. Yes. So I got to the spot where there wasn't much weeds at all, so I thought instead of going back and finding some grass, I'd just throw this chatterbait for a minute, because it's a little cleaner, so I could run it on that guy. All right, so it's 2 o'clock. Let's take a check in. We got 2 hours left to fish. 967 inches. I'm in first place. I almost got 200 inches on second place, so we're looking pretty good here. There's one. in the net. Insane. That's a good one. That's a nice one right there. He will add to the total. This one's heavy. That's a chunker. This one would help if we were weighing them. Oh, that's my biggest one. 17. Come on, go 17. That's the big of the day, 17 incher. Still got 200 inches on him, almost 195 it looks like. I gotta keep the pedal down or he'll catch up. I'm gonna have to stop and eat something here shortly. I'm hungry. There's one. Oh my goodness. This is so much fun. I've never caught this many fish in a day. Not even close. That's a pretty good one. Jeez. Almost ran him into the net. He'll do. He will help. That's a good one. That is a fat chunk, dude. There's some good fish in here. 15 and a half. That's it. That's my 4 o'clock alarm. Tournament over. All right, guys, 10 hours in the books. So I think that I won. My wife sent me this picture. It says I have 1,126 and a half inches on 80 fish. I can tell you right now, I've never caught that many fish in a day. You know, I went out here, I was going to throw a topwater in the morning. I threw it around, and it was like a baby Chapo, you know, Chapo 90. You know, I threw it a little bit, didn't get any bites, and I was just like, nah. So I started throwing the chatterbait, got a couple fish on the chatterbait jackhammer, and that was kind of my plan, right? I was going to come here, I was going to throw a topwater in the morning, then I was going to throw a chatterbait. The water's really dirty here, and there's tons of grass, just like a shallow lake with a bunch of grass in it. So it's a perfect spot to run a chatterbait. So that was my plan, but I was just hanging up too much with the chatterbait. That doesn't mean I wasn't catching fish on it, but I thought, well, maybe I can be more efficient if I throw a swim jig. And just because the chatterbait has a little bit more action, a little bit more noise to it, doesn't mean that they won't hit the swim bait. Here's all the trailers that I used. So I used a couple different kinds. This thing didn't work so good. This worked fine, but I didn't think it had enough thump to it, so I just used a whole bunch of paddle tail swim baits. And yeah, it worked really good. So this is my first tournament win. I know it's not a best 5 tournament, but it is a tournament, and it's only the second one I've ever done, and the other one I did was like this. So these are so much fun, guys. You can fish this tournament from the bank, from a kayak, from a boat, however you want to do it. But anyways, guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell down there so you don't miss anything. And hey, go check me out on Instagram at Midwest Bass Hunter. Going to be posting some stuff from today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.